We tend to view weight control as a test of character. Every morning, millions of people resolve to eat less and exercise more, operating on the assumption that with enough discipline and effort, the body will simply comply. The logic seems airtight. We consciously walk to the refrigerator, we voluntarily scoop the ice cream and lift the spoon. Because every physical step in the process is a choice, we assume the final outcome, our body weight, must be a choice too. This graph charts the macro-scale failure of that logic. In the United States, the percentage of adults with a normal body weight plummeted from 55% in 1962 to just 32% in 2008. Two-thirds of the adult population is now overweight or obese. Even when someone successfully forces the numbers down, the victory is fleeting. 90% of the time, that weight goes back up, often higher than where it started. This staggering failure rate suggests that willpower is a weak tool for managing the human machine. Our weight isn't a reflection of conscious discipline. It is governed by an ancient, automatic system of self-regulation called homeostasis. Homeostasis works like a biological thermostat. Just as a furnace kicks on when the room gets too cold, your body activates thousands of systems to keep your temperature, blood sugar, and fat stores within a stable range. But our internal thermostat was forged during the Ice Age, in an environment defined by caloric scarcity. Our ancestors spent their lives walking miles for high-fiber fruits and lean meat, always one bad season away from starvation. Starvation was a constant, lethal threat. Natural selection favored those with genes that hoarded every possible calorie and triggered a desperate, all-consuming drive to eat whenever food appeared. Our biology is engineered to prevent us from becoming too thin, not too heavy. This creates a catastrophic mismatch. A cooling system built for a laptop works perfectly until you take the computer out into the summer sun. Once the environment exceeds the system's design parameters, the mechanisms can no longer cope. When you start a severe diet, your brain doesn't see a healthy choice. It sees a famine. It doesn't matter that you're surrounded by grocery stores. The sudden drop in calories triggers a biological emergency. Instead of burning fat, your body panics. It activates a barrage of ancient countermeasures designed to stop you from starving to death, overriding your conscious goals with primal urgency. Your body's counterattack is systematic. It triggers a metabolic slowdown to conserve energy and raises your weight set point, mandating that you store extra fat to survive what it perceives as an unreliable food supply. Anorexia and bulimia represent these exact biological feedback loops spiraling into a runaway state. The more someone restricts their food, the more the body intensifies its survival signals. Eventually, the starvation signal becomes so powerful that it triggers a massive involuntary frenzy to consume whatever calories are in reach. The binge is the body's attempt to end the perceived famine. It is identical to holding your breath. You can force yourself to stop breathing for a minute, but the massive gasp for air that follows is an involuntary biological override. You don't choose to inhale, your body demands it. Binging and yo-yo weight gain are the byproduct of survival mechanisms functioning with terrifying precision. Your body is simply doing exactly what it was designed to do to keep you alive. The modern health crisis is driven by the interaction between these functional ancient genes and a radically novel environment. Our biology is reacting exactly as it should to conditions it was never meant to handle. Look at the sheer volume in a modern grocery store. Most of what we see is a product of artificial selection, engineered by scientists to combine fat, salt, and sugar into superstimuli. These foods target our primal appetites like heat-seeking missiles, delivering more concentrated pleasure than anything found in nature. This engineering of abundance has spread to our social lives. For most of history, humans lived in small bands of 50 foragers, where status and mates were scarce. Today, social media platforms and dating apps mimic that social connection, offering a concentrated, candy-like version of human interaction that our brains never evolved to shut off. We live in the Tantalus predicament. Like the Greek figure reaching for fruit that always recedes, we are surrounded by perfectly engineered temptations. But because our ancestors never faced a world of too much, we lack the biological off switches to protect us from this excess. Attempting to navigate this world with brute force willpower is a recipe for failure. Trying to put a strict lid on these deep-seated desires only increases the internal pressure in the pot, eventually triggering the body's alarm systems. Managing the modern world requires tricking our biology rather than fighting it. Paradoxical strategies, like eating regular small meals, work because they keep the famine alarm deactivated, signaling to the brain that food is reliable and no emergency defenses are needed. To survive a world of abundance, we have to stop viewing our desires as enemies to be crushed. They are ancient survival mechanisms that must be carefully managed, pacified, and understood.